Adam obeyed God, and God was coming. Even the day he disobeyed God, God came. God was faithful to appear to him in obedience and in disobedience. But yourself, you have been obedient and you have been less disobedient. He never came. My question is that, where are you? And who took you there? Because Genesis 2:15 says, and God took Adam into the garden, not the garden of Moriah, not the garden of Jericho, of Eden. I told you now I'm doing it, right? On the first of December. Oh my God. Amen. 1982. Yeah. 1982. I see people around the place. Yes, Jesus. There are people who have received Jesus, they are going to heaven. And they don't have, and they don't believe that Jesus can do certain things that he can do. And Jesus is making sure that he won't even do a mistake of doing what they don't believe that he can do. Who told you about Christ? And what did he say about Christ? Because if you believe God for one car, he will give you one car for the rest of your life. Because two cars becomes evil. Because your faith believes one. So whoever who told you about Christ, whatever that he said determines how God is going to pour his grace upon you. Let's wake up something from the scriptures. Let's look at the book of Matthew, chapter number 5. Matthew chapter number 5. We want to look at verse number. We can look at from verse number 1. They went across to the lake, to the region of the Gerasenes. Verse number 2. When Jesus got out of the boat, a man with an impure spirit came from the tombs to meet him. This man lived in the tombs. No one could bind him anymore, not even with a chain. For he had often been chained and had hand and foot, but he tore the chains apart and broke the irons on his feet. No one was strong enough to subdue him. Night and day, among the top and in the hills, he would cry out and cut himself with stones. When he saw Jesus from a distance, he ran and fell at his knees in front of him. He shouted at the top of his voice, "What do you want with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? In God's name, don't torture me." For Jesus said to him, "Come out of this man, you impure spirit." Jesus asked him, "What is your name?" "My name is Legion," he replied, "for we are many." And he begged Jesus again and again not to send him out of the area. A large herd of pigs was feeding on the nearby hillside. The demons begged Jesus, "Send us among the pigs, allow us to go into them." He gave them permission, and the impure spirits came out and went into the pigs. They had about 2,000 in numbers rushed down the steep bank into the lake and were drowned. Those tending the pigs ran off and reported this in the town and the countryside. And the people went out to see what had happened. And the people went out to see what had happened. Father, I pray for the word, and I thank you for your voice this evening. And I thank you for the lives that you're going to deliver tonight. And I thank you for the great work that you're going to do in our lives. I honor you and I thank you. We open every window, we open every vein, we open every door, every gate for you. Move in this place tonight. Bless somebody and deliver somebody in the mighty name of Jesus. Oh Jesus, we pray that your hand may be strong in this place. Let your hand be strong tonight. Heal somebody. Bring a permanent solution. I pray that the God of my Father may reveal himself in his fullness. In his fullness. In the name of Jesus. Amen. I don't want to share this for a long time. I just want to prepare you for what is coming. If you look at what is happening here, it's a story that we've had for a long time. It's one of the stories that you find even non-believers talking about. It's not a complicated subject, it's very simple. Of a man who was demon-possessed, called Legion. It happened that the man was possessed by spirits. The man was demon-possessed. And Jesus decided one day, after ministering to a large number of people, he told his disciples that it's time now to cross over to the other side. Amen. We have to cross over now to the other side of the sea. Amen. He didn't just do it, but he told his disciples that this is what we want to do now. Amen. We want to cross over. Yes. Yes. It was their agenda, it was their mission. Amen. And it was not a secret that what we want to do now, it will cause us to cross over to the other side. Oh. So, they did so. Crossed over to the other side. But before they got to the other side, certain strange things started to happen. Amen. Glory. Certain strange things started to happen. Yes. There was this wind that they didn't understand. Amen. Where is this wind coming from? They didn't know. Amen. It was Jesus who had said, let us cross over to the other side. Amen. But along the way, there was this wind that came. Amen. And the wind caused the waters that were in the boat, that were in the sea, to break into the boat. When they left, the Bible clearly says they left with the other little ships. Yeah. But when the waters, or when the wind was attacking, it never attacked other little ships, but it went straight to the boat that held Jesus. Other boats, they had no Jesus in them, and they didn't face any attack. Most people, they ask themselves, why is it I love God, I pray, and I still face problems? The reason why you are attracting problems, it is because you are carrying a problem solver. Because they say out there, they say problems gravitate towards their solution. So you will never have a problem coming to you, yet you are not carrying a solution for that which you are going through. So the wind never broke into any of the little ships because they were little. There are problems for little people. Their boats were too little to attract a challenge. They crossed over to the other side without any problem. Now, if you look at these two people, you would think these people, when they crossed over smoothly, they've got more God. They are more protected. Never lie to yourself that those who are not going through what you're going through are more protected than you. It's a sign that they are not carrying what you are carrying. Because there are people, when you look at them, it seems as if they are more prospering than you. And you wonder, why is it these people are succeeding and I'm not? Yet I'm much better than them. Look at how big their body is and look at how big your body is. The Bible says they were in little ships. They were not even a threat to the kingdom of darkness. The devil is not foolish to waste his bullets on people who are never a threat. He doesn't do that. So the reason why most people are facing more problems in their lives, it is because of the greatness of God that they are carrying. You can't have such greatness and not attract an opposing force. What you are going through in life, it's a sign that you are carrying something. I'm talking about this and I'm taking you on a journey. Immediately when you are done, we have to make sure that we deal with what you are going through. Because every problem must have an expiry date. As much as it is good for you, it's not meant to stay forever. I wouldn't want God to teach me a lesson of suffering for the rest of my life. The day I have to let God deliver me out of that problem has to be the day I learn and understand that what I'm going through is a lesson. You didn't hear that? Going through is actually a lesson. That is the only time you're allowed to walk out of that classroom. But if you still take it as whatever that is going through, maybe I've got enemies or what, I don't know, maybe for you I have to give you another subject, but as of me, I've come to a point where I believe that there's no witch under the sun who have power over my life. I believe it. So if I say anything that looks like witchcraft in my life, before I glorify the devil to have power over a prophet, I say it's God teaching me a lesson. That's how I have decided to look at problems. Wow. I say it's God. And immediately when I say it's God, the devil walks away. So don't just glorify the devil. You have to prove that who is doing this. Amen. You have to prove. Amen. So I've come to that point where I believe that even if you gather all the witches together and give them my name to do what they do, still after doing what they do, let's say it happens that I start to experience some funny things, I won't even give credit to that gathering. I still believe that God is involved in this. Because He said, I will never leave you. He said, it is not a liar. So I don't think of the devil. I see God everywhere. Amen. I'm teaching you how to live above situations. How to do it. To make sure that the devil doesn't exist in your world. What makes hell hell? What makes that place called hell to be hell? It is not the fire that is in hell, but it is the absence of God. That fire. And what makes heaven heaven? It is the presence of God. So, the fire that we have now, that is the fire that is there in a place called hell. But why are people so afraid of that fire? Yet we have fire here. It is because the fire that we have now, we have it in the presence of God. And the fire that that people are going to see there, they will have it in the absence of a deliverer. Yes. They will have that fire in the absence of that who can deliver them. Now, I'm lining something, I want to bring out something. So which means whatever that you have in the absence of God, that thing becomes an enemy to you. Instead of fighting for you, it will fight against. Because what gives you a relationship with whatever that God created, including that fire, it is the presence of the Creator in your life. But once that man is departed out of your life, nature will fight you. The reason why you are related even with the chair that you are seated, the reason why that chair is faithful enough to carry you all night, it is because of the presence of God. Yes. God can decide right now to take away the ability, the strength of a chair to carry you. He can take away that power. Because, for an example, if you weigh 80 kgs, for the chair to carry you, how much must it weigh? 90. But now, put that chair on the scale and see. Put it on the scale and see. It's not even heavy at all. It's very light. You're actually heavier. But it can carry you. Now ask yourself, who is behind it?
Come on now.
If time will permit, we will do some few demonstrations.
Amen.
Amen.
Where we are going to demonstrate what I'm talking about.
Amen. Amen.
Wow.
So everything that you are related with now, you are related with it because of the presence of God.
Amen.
Once God has departed, money departs.
Yes.
That's why at one point of time I told you this. I told you that the easiest way of making money is to be spiritual. It might not be the easiest again. But if you look at God, God is more spiritual than all of us. And He owns all of us, including what we have.
Amen.
Because of His spirituality. He can see what you don't see, He can hear what you don't hear. Because of His spirituality. Right now, a certain old woman from the village can control you in the city. From a bedroom. She can control people in the city. Spiritually. She is old. She can't help herself. She doesn't drive what you drive. She doesn't live comfortably the way you live. But look at how you are crying. That witchcraft is over me. Certain people are bewitching me. Look at those people. You even feel sorry for them. But they've got power to control. Because they mastered the spiritual realm.
Amen.
So he who is spiritual will take charge over the environment.
Amen.
Yes. If we can have somebody here who is more spiritual than all of us, and have that person say, I bless you. If there was a case in this place, that case no longer have power.
Amen.
Why? Because the highest rank in that place is spoken.
Amen.
I will show you what I'm talking about.
Amen.
You find Legion immediately the moment Jesus landed, when Jesus stepped out of the boat. Legion says something. The demon felt that there is somebody greater who has stepped into my territory.
Amen.
Jesus never went to Legion to say, where are you? Come, let me deal with you. It's actually the demon that came. A demon-possessed man came. Chances are there that there were more spiritual people in the city. That's why immediately when the man was possessed by a legion of demons, he left the city and he went to stay in the tombs. Because there were other people who were overpowering him. And he decided to leave. And go to his territory where he can dominate. So there's always a place that we have to identify in life. Where you dominate. You can't afford to be in a place where other people are dominating and you are being dominated. And expect to come number one. If you want to be number one in everything that you do, go to a place that you dominate. Jesus said, there's no man who shall be greater than John the Baptist. And you find a scripture which says, and from the days of John the Baptist, before we even talk about the kingdom suffering violence, look, the days were given to John. He said, and from the days of John. And there were other men, thousands of them, who were living during the days of John. John came number one. He came outstanding. But there were other men like him. They were not outstanding because they were living in George's days. Where you work, whose days are they? Before you dominate other things, just dominate the environment. Get into a taxi and cause demon-possessed people to manifest. You get in a taxi, demons are not supposed to be comfortable. The one dominating the environments of those 16 people. I don't know how many are there. 16. Those dominate that environment and cause them to do what you want them to do.
Wow.
Exercise your authority wherever you go. Exercise. Started last week, but one. When I told you about this online prayer, and I was always encouraging you, telling you that no matter the weather, don't worry. Come. The sun was hot, everything was fine, but I was always telling you that. So, which weather was I talking about?
Thank you, Papa.
I want to teach you, you have to be able to hear, you have to be able to listen. You have to be able to listen.
Amen.
When words are spoken.
Amen.
I was at home and I said to someone, I said, can you check? That was 2 weeks back. I said, can you check if you can see how the weather is going to be like on that Friday? They tried to check and the weather could only give them what will happen in a week's time. It couldn't go further to the second week that I wanted. It was only showing us last week Friday. He said, I don't want that. Can you try to check further? He said, no. No. It can't go further. It can only see 1 week from now. And I said, but I see rains. I see rains on that day. It will be raining. People in the house were laughing. There were no signs of rain and everything. And I told myself that I'm going to advise people not to worry about the weather. So you can look into your future and look at the day that you want and check how things are going to be. And see if God has given you the grace to adjust even the weather.
Mighty Jesus.
I come here on Sunday, I tell people to be very careful. And I even said 3 weeks. And I come back on Thursday, I tell you that I wasn't talking about 3 weeks. It's actually earlier than that. On Sunday, I tell you, be careful about 1 to 3. They're going to be kidnapped. People kidnapping things, 1 to 3 taking place. And you wake up on Monday evening, you have 2 reports of people being kidnapped here in this town. And the day before, there's somebody standing here giving you a calendar of how events are going to be unfolding.